not even like a real thing. That's like a collection of cells.
Even somebody at work.
It's coagulated cells.
It's like goo.
That's it.
It's like a
Sorry,
sack of goo.
if I may intervene. So cells are essentially living organisms, are they not?
Sure.
Of course they are.
But like you step on ants all day and you don't get all emotional about that.
Yeah.
Right, but this is a human birth. Like, I understand where you're coming from. But is it alive nonetheless? Is it not feeding off of the mother?
So it's totally
It
alive,
is alive.
but it's not human.
One day, what makes it human? Let me ask that.
I mean, like, cognitive ability?
So a Down syndrome child who has underdeveloped cognitive ability, are they human?
Okay, have you ever had to carry a child, like, inside you?
No, but
Have you ever
that's
had a penis inside you?
no, but that's different
Well,
though.
then how is this your choice?
That's different though. Now you're moving aside to something else. Earlier you said it's not human because it doesn't have cognitive faculties. Well,
I'm not saying...
I mean, I want to stick to one subject,
Okay,
one topic.
subject.
Yeah.
Fight me on the cognitive thing. I don't really give a fuck. If I'm pregnant and I don't want to have a kid, I'm not going to have the kid.
But you know what? That's a result of sin. It says it is out of the wickedness of the heart that we murder, that we hate. And so it's undeniable that it is a human life. It's not a clump of cells. It's actually a human organism. Organisms are different than tissues, and they're different than organs.
Yeah.
And
That's
so,
not a person.
well,
right?
what is a person? How would you classify a
Okay,
person?
well, look at it this way. If I was holding a fetus, right, and I was also holding a baby, and I dropped both of them at the same time, and you could only say one, which one would you say?
I'll say, well, did you know that what fetus means?
After birth?
You know what a fetus means?
medicine.
In Latin, it means baby.
Yeah, but
So
it's
you're saying
like-
baby and baby.
Yeah, baby and baby. One is like not even born yet. One looks like a little alien, and one is a human child.
Well, at that point, we're discriminating towards human life. If it's a baby, regardless, it is human life. It's a human being. It's an organism that is human in its nature. The law of biogenesis states that when one life reproduces with another life, it reproduces a life that shares the same nature. And so when a frog reproduces with a frog, guess what it forms?
I'm just saying though. Yeah, it's like feeding off of the life source of the mother. It doesn't have its own
You don't
life.
agree with her, though. You do believe it's alive.
It's a life. It's sharing a life.
So
No. Let me explain this.
it's
No. Just for
you
a
do believe
second.
it's alive. Okay.
Okay. It's not its own life. It is sharing the life of the woman who carries it. If the woman who carries it does not wish to share her life, she is the one with her own life, her own job, her own career, her own relationships. That thing is using her life support.
But you do
If
realize
she doesn't want
that's-
that, she shouldn't have to carry it.
You realize that's not true, right? Because there's two organisms. There's two human lives.
Yeah. And where does the fetus get its food?
Oh, absolutely. In the same way, where does an infant get its
You never
food?
say the mother is gonna 100%
From outside
die
sources,
by
still
giving-
from the
The
mother's
human being.
breast, but
Absolutely.
It's like,
And there's my point. That the child, whether it's 10 weeks old or whether it's 10 days old post-birth, it's still reliant on the parents.
yeah.
For nutrition, whether it's through the umbilical cord or whether it's through a food or whether it's through
I don't
breastfeeding.
advocate abuse
And so the child is reliant. I agree, but I don't think that means, I don't think that gives you the right to murder because it's still a human life. That's what, so as long as you grant that it's a human life, it becomes murder. Because all human beings are classified under the category of personhood.
consciousness.
I understand that, like, you're saying that it has the right to be alive. But, like, I mean,
Or it's a person, it's just two cells, it's not even a person yet. It has to develop into a
So when
person.
is it a person? That's my question.
When
At what point of the pregnancy is it a person? That's my question.
Third trimester.
How do you-
It's illegal to abort in. You can abort in any trimester before that.
So why not 2 hours before the third trimester or 2 hours and 30 minutes before the third trimester? Yeah, it's
You're saying, where do you draw the
where do you
line?
draw the line? There you go. Where do you draw the line?
I draw the line before third trimester because if I don't want a kid and it's in the second, it's still legal for me to abort it.
Whether it's legal or not, the government is sanctioning it doesn't make it.
It's still legal in the third trimester in certain states.
Also, if abortion was outlawed, do you think that would actually stop it?
It wouldn't. It would cause more deaths because
Exactly.
people would still be trying to get an abortion.
Oh, that is absolutely
Have the
false.
safety of an actual doctor in the clinic.
That is a false statistics.
It is true. The statistics show that whenever abortion's illegal, there are women who die because they try to get an abortion.
That's different than what you said. You said that if abortion is illegal, then more abortions are going to happen. More deaths are going to
still
happen.
More deaths will happen.
More deaths are gonna
And
happen.
The woman dies as well.
So could you present to me the statistic?
I don't have it on me, but I know that
There
there's-
has.
we're talking theoreticals here. We're not
I know,
talking,
I know.
talking
Statistics actually shows in other countries where it has been criminalized and deaths have been dropped. However, that should not be the focal point of the argument, because if we can grant that it's a human life, then no matter what, it becomes murder at that point. So the argument, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of anything else, regardless of pragmatism, the focal point, the crux should be whether that life inside the womb, because undeniably it is life, whether the life inside the womb is human in its nature.
Okay, so even
It's all human.
Yeah, it's all human matter. But even if that is the case, do you think...
Can I ask that question to them to see if they agree? I just wanted to make sure that we're all on the same page, and I respect that you guys came to talk to us, and we care for you guys as well, and we care for people, we care for
You
beliefs.
don't. All of you are men, and this is a women's issue.
Well, then why
It's
is...
a women's choice, not someone else's.
Wait,
You guys will never understand what it's like to have
I
a
don't
pregnancy
understand it, but
scare
I'm
or
in
to
full
carry a
support of women
child.
because it's their body.
Two things. I would never understand slavery, but yet I can objectively say slavery is wrong. Now, there's a man right there. There's a male figure, and he has an opinion or a belief on abortion. So, why not restrict his right to have an opinion, but yet restrict our right? Because he's saying, you know what, I have an opinion or a belief on abortion. He just, yeah, and I'm not saying you are,
I'm just disagreeing.
I know, but what I'm saying is he's a man as well.
I don't think
but
it's
yet,
my decision, it's just my opinion.
I know it's your opinion. So, but what she's saying is I can't have that opinion on abortion because I'm a man. But yet you're a man and you can.
Each other, and that's really
No, what I'm trying to show, to be honest, and I'm trying to be respectful, what I'm trying to show is that there is inconsistencies within the pro-choice movement.
There totally isn't. That's why there's people standing here with signs like this.
You're saying
But
there totally
I think
isn't?
I know, I just said there totally is.
Okay,
There's
I didn't hear you, that's fine.
discrepancies because people disagree on issues. But I don't think that it's really right. I mean, it's your right to do this and like to protest and have people come up and talk, but it's like, that's kind of gross, you know? Like, let us talk about it in a civilized manner between each other and not like posting these signs around of like, you know, that's disgusting.
It is disgusting.
It is disgusting.
And
And I agree that like that's a human life and like death, you know, murder is a bad thing, but like
What's your name?
I'm Geneva.
Geneva. I
Yeah.
never got your name.
Sarah.
Sarah.
I mean,
My
you
name is
have it
Arnold.
all on camera.
Greg.
It's not
Martin.
like-
You guys mind?
No, not really.
Cool.
It's just
Um,
it's weird.
See, the reason that we bring it up is because murder, and we agree that it's murder. I mean, you granted it.
I don't agree that it's
I don't
murder.
think it's
I think
murder.
it's
I
a
think
choice
it's
of a
human
woman.
life. I
Yeah.
don't think
Okay.
that's murder.
So what is the killing, the intentional killing of a human life?
I mean, we can say that like if I killed her right now, that'd be murder.
So-
but if I am having a child, like it's not
It's
not a
still a part
question
of
of
you.
it's not a question of
It's-
murdering.
yeah,
it's a
it's
question
yourself,
that if you can carry this child, if you can take care of this child. And I think that that's a quality of life thing on that child's life.
Okay.
And if you want to have the child and then put it through whatever system, mess its psychology up, you know, like then raise a human being in this society that's really messed up. I think that's worse than killing the child. from
Really?
day one.
To end
Yeah,
a
I
life?
think it is.
I think
And
so
I'm
too.
gonna go on that note. So
Okay, okay. The reason why I think there's inconsistencies, you're saying that it is human life.
Yeah.
And to end a life, to kill another life willingly is murder. Now, what you're saying is you also said that the baby is one with the mother. Well, that's not true. If the baby is a human life, the mother is a human life, there's two human beings at that point. Is that not true?
All right. I'm just gonna say, if you bring a kid into the world and you're not ready to love it, that kid is gonna have the shittiest life.
That
So
may or may
fucking
not be
shitty,
true.
Worth being dead. It's true, okay?
Well, that's not always true.
All right.
There's actually stories of parents that have given birth that haven't initially wanted the child. We've actually raised certain parents where we've walked through them. We've thrown them a
I'm
baby
sure
shower,
there are
etc.
stories, just like there are stories of people who have gotten abortions and then fallen into depressions because they were so guilty. But there's also stories of people who have aborted their kids and had no problem with it.
That's what I'm saying.
Sure.
It may or may not be
Yeah,
true.
I'm saying it may or may not be true. So it may or may not be true that the mother ends up loving the child, the mother ends up giving it up for adoption, the mother ends up, I don't know, having whatever feelings towards that child after giving birth. So it may or may not be true. However, it still does not justify it. Circumstance do not justify murder. Okay, so then what do you
don't think
call?
it's murder.
Then let's get to that point. What do you call? You grant that it's a human life. What do you call the voluntary killing of human life?
I call the voluntary eliminating of a fetus inside a woman.
Well,
I
let's
call that getting rid of a problem.
so you're saying human life or human babies are a problem essentially.
No, not human babies.
That's what
human babies that the woman carrying it doesn't want.
That's still
a problem.
that's still a
We're
human baby.
overpopulated.
So whether we want children or not should not dictate whether we have the right to kill life, man.